following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star.
Let's go.
It's 84 degrees. It feels like 84 degrees. The high
I'm back in love with
is
Shannon.
91. The low tonight is, fellas, 69 degrees.
69. Ooh. Does that number mean
69
anything age-wise?
Let's get it
Age-wise,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Man, you
spooky
guys are off
season.
the rails already, man. Just
Spooky
right out of the
season.
gate.
We're not
Spooky
off the
season.
rails.
Spooky
That's a
season.
great temperature.
For my boy Freaky Mike.
Is a great temperature.
You know, what's today?
Thursday.
Thursday.
And so is it?
October
It's
7th.
defense.
Cowboys defense.
Cowboys offense.
No, we did
No,
that
sorry.
yesterday.
Cowboys
Cowboys
defense.
defense. Giants offense.
No, you roll in the show, Jesse.
You're right.
I'm the host. I know what's going on.
You're right.
You're the voice of reason.
You're right. You're right.
This is the homer. This is the stats
Yes,
guy.
sir. You can call me fat homie, big homie, stank homie, but I'm the homie. Believe that.
Stank homie? Is that-
Stank homie, yeah. That, you know,
Stank homie.
you know, we don't say
I'm
stink.
so glad
we say stank.
I could bring good news before the show because Nate is in on another level good mood.
Yeah, we
today.
love it.
I'll tell you what, man.
What? How'd you enjoy the show last night with Drew?
They came to me before the show. Don't say a word, Nate. Nate, don't say a word. I'm like, what, Shadow? We got a bet on how many times
We had an office
Drew gonna
pool.
say
Oh.
Yeah.
And he did it 3 times, I think. And I'm thinking Shannon over there counting. And he ain't even counting.
I didn't think he did any. I was trying to count, but I couldn't count because Broadus was talking so much.
Broadest, man.
He brought it though. He has some good
Well,
stuff.
last week you were talking. What's Chris
Arnold.
talked too much? Now brought us talk. Do you guys do any talking?
We can't. We haven't been able to.
You know what, man? I was
Don't
so-
invite me.
I've
If you want to go
always-
3 weeks in a row, invite me.
I've always been the type of guy that when I'm around one of those guys,
You listen.
You got real quiet.
I'm all because what they tried to do to Drew, for as the Hall of Fame, an all-decade player, everybody in your decade is in the Hall of Fame, and I'm sitting here looking at this man, and I'm like, wow, man, for real? How can you do this?
Right.
And then the dude with the big head who present them, who knock on their door and say, "Hey, you're in or you're not in." They don't knock on your
Dude
door.
with the big head.
Yeah.
Baker.
You're never going to get in the
Mr.
Hall of Fame. You calling him the dude with
Mr.
the
Baker
big
got
head.
a bus. He got a bus, and you know, I'm just so when I'm around, I just be looking at him, you know, because Drew always showed me extra love, because you know he undrafted like us, Jesse. So he always showed me extra love. And I appreciate that, man. And but one thing he told me before we came here, he said, "You see this?" I said, "I know you're taking advantage of that, right? Financially, I'm loving it." He said the sweet thing about it, I ain't turned down nothing. And I asked them what their budget, and we go from there.
I thought I monetized the Star.
Oh, he talked about it on the radio.
Drew, the
Yeah.
king of it.
Yeah.
Drew
Yeah,
has
he
me
knows-
beat
He knows how to work
by
it.
He does
a
work.
country mile.
No,
Yeah.
it was a great show. Broadus talked so much just because he had so much. He was trying to get all of his knowledge into 1 hour, and he was not able to do it. But he tried. He did a great job.
He had a
had-
5-hour show every day.
Yeah.
But
know.
no, this is the thing about it. He was sitting there with guys with football knowledge and was willing to listen to him. And to the
He
point
was
where
excited.
I explained something, and brother said, "Yeah, Nate." And on top of that, I'm like, "Okay, brother."
No, it was great to
He
be
was
back.
great, man.
Be back with Broadus. I miss that guy being around here. So it was a good show. Good show, fellas.
Nice.
Let's talk about Cowboys defense. You know what? Let's talk about the Giants.
And I'm gonna tell you, we
first.
we had a discussion
'Cause this ain't gonna
about
be
a
long.
certain guy. We didn't even bring it up last night. You noticed that?
Oh
right?
yeah,
That- see,
there's no need to.
That's what I admired you for that, bro.
No need
I
to.
really did.
It's
You
a
did a
done
hell of
deal.
a job. You did a hell of. Hats off to Shannon.
Done
man.
deal.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, why?
He's a good host.
That was,
Why
oh
hats?
man, my hats off to him.
No,
bro.
I'm not a good host. I'm just cheap. I'm the right
No
price.
hat can fit on that head.
I'm like
Hat's always got to be off.
I'm like Jesse. I don't say no to anything. Well,
Well, rowdy.
most anything. He ain't rowdy. We ain't rowdy.
Okay.
We're one notch right above
We're
rowdy.
flirting.
Yeah.
Close.
Flirting with
You just
Rowdy.
don't get paid. You do things.
I
but
do
you
stuff
just
for free. Jesse will do anything, but he at least gets paid.
That's
that
the
way.
difference between somebody getting paid and somebody getting free. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
That's somebody that somebody that used to play professional sports and somebody that's just happy to be around it.
I mean, you get health insurance from this place.
I do. Good. We
Good.
get
I
good
know.
health insurance.
I know. Trust me. I know.
Do y'all get health insurance as ex-players?
No.
Y'all don't have
It's there, but at the price monthly, you don't
You gotta
want
pay
it.
That
for it?
premium. Yeah, you get so for anyone. This is just random, right? So once you done playing football, or whenever your last time someone fires you, you get 5 years
Yeah.
of free health care. Then after that,
So any surgeries you won't need or any of that,
you better get them in.
5 years.
You
Okay.
got to get them in for you, for your spouse and your family, whoever's on your deal. After that, they send you a letter and say, "Hey, here's what the premium is going to cost per month to continue the coverage that we've given you for the last 5 years or so. When you've been in the league." And you look at that premium, you be like, Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna pass on that premium. I'm gonna find some other
Go find
affordable
my own.
healthcare.
I wonder if you guys, because you're athletes, do they see? I wonder if they see that as you're a good risk, or because you've been playing the game and you're beat
you're gonna
up,
do a
you're a
physical.
bad risk.
You're gonna do a physical,
Yeah.
and that physical is gonna prove every time you're a bad risk. Because when they go to looking at your history, and say, "Can we get you sign that thing over for them to look in your records, your medical records?" They're gonna come back and you be like, "Well, I should have just took what the premium was." Unless you start a business, you start a business, you can get a break.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or we can get a job for a company like this, then we get good health insurance.
Yeah.
Which Nate, neither one of us have been. Well,
Maybe we
you're
should
more
start-
full time than I am, Nate.
Maybe we should start a business.
I just beg for more jobs than you do.
Nah, I beg.
Should
They just don't return my emails. Trust me. If you're listening, Derek.
you want to hang with the boys Incorporated? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. We need
Ooh.
to start a side hustle. Figure something
Can the
out.
Cowboys sue us for that? If we did a side hustle with the name that they have on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have to do it outside of
Yeah,
that
we don't want that
umbrella.
problem.
We'd have to do
They'll
something.
bleed us.
Yeah.
Well,
They'll
the-
bleed us in
We
the
add the
courtroom.
G to it, and we'll be different there.
Hanging.
Hanging,
Maybe. But hey, both terms factor into us being the
true.
most
Most
searched show on the Dallas Cowboys radio.
Oh, I gotta give shout outs.
Network.
People are like into this whole shout out thing now. So I gotta give a shout out. And this is actually Alexandria. She says that she loves Mama Gross. She says,
Me too.
She was, of course. Alexandria said that she's like the number one female fan of Hanging with the Boy. I told her Mama Gross will fight you for that, but she says, no. Like I love Mama Gross. I'm down for Mama Gross. So like I'll take that demotion and be the second female. But she's like outside of Mama Gross, she's the number one female. This is her, this is not
She
her
should
saying
call
that.
in.
She's gonna try to call in her work schedule. She said.
Okay.
So Alexandria, your shout out from Hanging
Thank
with the
you
Boys.
for listening.
Thank you. We
love
appreciate
you.
it. We
Thank you for
love our
listening.
female audience because they learn a lot from us. They say. Sometimes
You know what's so funny when you said shout out to Alexander? I thought you said Alexander lose. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
Alexandria.
Yeah,
Oh no. This is a person.
Yeah, it's a person.
I spent a lot of time around Alexander.
All right, let's talk football now.
Oh, you want to talk football? All right, let's start because this will probably be a short conversation, and I have a feeling our defense is going to. It deserves more than just a part of a segment,
Right.
Because they are playing that good. Because we don't cut them any slack when they do bad. We need to give them their just due since they're doing what they're doing now. So let's start with the Giants offense. Saquon Barkley, what is he now? Because I thought he was. I don't know what he is. Like I don't watch enough Giants football.
He's a young man that needed to cut down drastically on his drop back turnovers. When he dropped back the pass, he was very careless with the ball.
Wait, hang on. I said Saquon Barkley.
Said Saquon.
How often does he pass?
He's looking at Daniel Jones on his
He's a
computer.
running back.
You know,
That's bad. That's bad. Daniel Jones. That's bad. Daniel Jones.
do we need to go to break and
need
reset?
to cut. He cut down on that
He
this year.
still ain't answering your question.
He's
He just
not.
went to
He just-
his question.
Nate, focus. I need you to tell me Saquon Barkley. Do you have him on tape?
Yes, I do.
What is he now?
Healthy. And he's not on the snap count. Saquon Barkley, the running back.
Is he
number
good?
26. He's great.
Is he elite?
He's the greatest running back that I know that haven't had, 300 carries yet. I watched this dude last week, man, stand in front of 3 Saints and for like 3 seconds dance, and neither one of them could put. They couldn't touch him. Now they eventually corralled him. This dude feet for his size is so I ain't seen nothing like
His
it.
legs are as big around as you.
Bruh, I don't know about all of that right there, but I'm telling you, they gonna unleash him. The last 4 games he had to be on the snap count. Don't tell me that they were so far behind in the games. If Galladay, if Galladay is to have a big year, if Mr. Jones is to have Daniel Jones is to have a big year, they got to unleash this kid, man. With that read, I will be read optioning guys to death. That's one thing Broder's talking about. Because your offensive line has had 8 or 9 changes. They haven't got unity in there. They haven't bonded where everybody's been healthy, and so they got to unleash this guy. Because if they go 8-9 games in without unleashing this guy and leave it on to Daniel, even though Johnny Jones found a rhythm last week in the second half, and I mean he was just he's dropping that ball in there. They missing a couple of receivers, but man, Barkley, that dude is nice. I like him, man.
But do they have the offensive line for him to be nice, or would it be like Zeke last year with our beat up offensive line?
I'm gonna tell you something. He got feet similar. He's not Barry Sanders. He got feet similar to Barry Sanders. They ought to be able to design something to get this guy going. When you have that type of talent, you as an offensive coordinator should be, the head coach should be like, not all of that. We'll do a little bit of this, but not all of that. This dude is legit, man.
Yeah.
Ain't no way in the world he's not going to touch the ball for my team under 30 times. It just ain't nowhere in the world.
Jesse, would you load up on Saquon and make Daniel Jones beat you?
Absolutely.
Does that be your game plan?
My game plan would be first and foremost to stop Saquon Barkley because he, to Nate's point, is that dynamic. He is a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. We know what he is as a runner. Like, if you don't bring your everything to come tackle him, you're in a world of trouble because we talk about Zeke and his punishing runs. Saquon's kind of the same way, and he also has that shiftiness and those feet that Nate was talking about. So, and that puts defenders in a bind sometimes. Like when you play Derrick Henry, the only thing that you're worried about Derrick Henry is the power. That's it, right? So you're not worried about Derrick Henry kind of giving you some of that. You're worried about, is he going to run me over and stiff arm me and put me on SportsCenter? Mm-hmm. When you play against a back like Saquon Barkley, your mind begins to wonder now because you're saying, is he going to run me over? Is he going to run around me? Is he going to juke me? Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you kind of come with that little bit of you're half in, you're half out on how you want to go about tackling him, and he embarrasses you one way or the other because you were indecisive, and now he just went on and did what he did. Saquon is a problem if you allow him to be.
Thank you.
Saquon can be a thorn in your side if you allow him to be because he's so versatile. My thing that I am banking on when it comes to Saquon in this offense is that Jason Garrett doesn't that Jason Garrett can't be as versatile in his thinking of how to get Saquon Barkley the ball.
It wouldn't do for Joe Brady to have him.
Say again?
It wouldn't do for Joe Brady.
Yeah.
For the LA Chargers, it wouldn't do for him to have. For the Panthers, it wouldn't do for him to have him.
Right.
I promise you.
Because he'd use him like they use Christian McCaffrey.
Right. Yeah.
Get the ball in his hands, get him in space.
Any kind of way. Mm-hmm. And so, and we all know, like that's low hanging fruit, right? Saquon Barkley, we all understand what kind of player he is. But yeah, you have to come out and he has to be your first focus. Let's rally to the football. Let's be what we saw last week in the Panthers. Let's be physical. Let's be fast. Let's be athletic. You made some changes at linebacker. Now some more guys will get opportunities to play in this football game. You got to come up and hit this guy. You come up and hit this guy, and now you put them behind the sticks, and you make Daniel Jones now have to beat you as a passer, because Daniel Jones can beat you as a runner. He's Billy Ho, right? Billy Ho. Remember Billy Ho from White Man Can't Jump?
Oh yeah.
Nobody remember White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah.
It was like you didn't know quite kind of
the
know
white guy on the white.
The white guy.
Yeah.
You didn't quite know. You had Sidney Dean and he had Billy Ho. Like
Right.
Sidney Dean is Saquon.
Right.
Right. The all everything. Billy Ho is you don't really know what Billy Ho is until he get on the court and he cook you for 40.
Yeah.
And that's Daniel Jones. Like he looked like the kind of nerdy white guy, but then all of a sudden he breaks containment and he's running for 40 yards and now you can't catch him. Right? So it's like don't let Billy Ho trick you.
That's why that read option is dangerous. That's why if he stick that thing in that boy's gut, that defensive end that's looking, I got the quarterback, don't ever think you don't have that quarterback. Because as soon as you take one step in, he's got enough ability to break outside, and he's going to hurt you, man.
Let's talk about the ability of the quarterback, just so Nate's earlier comments don't
Billy
go
Ho.
to waste.
Is
We'll
it
let
Billy
him
Ho
talk
or Billy
about.
Hoyt? I think it's Billy Hoyt, but Sidney
it
Dean
up,
just
Kurt.
called him Billy
I was
Ho.
gonna say it's Billy Hoyt.
But Sidney Dean
He
calls
just
him
wanted-
Billy Ho.
He just wanted to say "ho" about 20 times on the show without getting in trouble.
Because I know if somebody's going to hit me on Twitter like, "Oh, you're wrong."
Ho, 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 ho.
There you go.
Who's that, Brad?
Brad Sham.
Yeah.
I mean, even these dudes ain't even blocking for this cat.
We'll be right back, and Nate can talk about Daniel Jones on
I was talking about
the show
Barkley on
Hanging with the boys.
with the boys. Be right back.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We're not.
Go.
We're
Get.
Jesus Christ.
Are you okay today?
He said Shannon. He didn't
said
say
go.
He
we're
said
back.
go twice.
I didn't hear you say
A
go.
third time.
I'm sorry. Say it again. Say it.
Go, Shannon.
Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details and to join today.
We were just
More
talking
and
about what
more.
a great host you've been.
More and more, you're becoming the drunk uncle of this show. They want to call the drunk uncles.
I'm telling you, man.
It's becoming more and more just the drunk
I'm telling
uncle.
you, when I stopped drinking, everything went downhill. I still drink. I just don't do it on the job anymore.
Let's bring that back. Let's get you a Cowboy flask or something.
Something, man.
He needs a Miller Lite and some Wingstop.
Yes. We need to get some Wingstop.
Yeah, we do.
Wings. Don't bring them thighs in here, man. I don't know.
Wings. We'll get them. All right, Nate. Me and you have both screwed this show up in the first segment.
Wow.
He's trying to drag you down with him.
Yeah.
I ain't going down by myself. I'm bringing somebody with me.
Okay.
The guy you were talking about earlier when we were trying to talk about Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, yes, sir.
Go with it.
Daniel Jones found a rhythm in the second half of the game. Hold on, fellas. This it. Hold on.
You got a call? You got a call?
Hold on. No. Hold on, man. Hold on.
We're holding. We're not going anywhere.
Wow.
We got another 30 minutes.
Watch this.
You realize this is radio, right?
Watch this.
No one else can see this. All right, what
You
are we
gonna throw
watching?
the ball to watch this, man. Watch this here.
Oh, is that the play you were talking about?
Come on, dog. Come on.
Yeah, that's
I'm telling you. But anyway, Daniel Jones, he found a rhythm last week in the second half against the Saints. He brought them from 11-point deficit. He was throwing some nice passes, one to Barkley, I think, for a big game. But my question, Jess, was that just something where he's been working on for the last 2 or 3 games and it came together? You think the light is on for him now?
Daniel Jones, to me, as a quarterback, throughout this season, throughout his career, has been shaky. Right? You don't, and that's part of the problem with why they haven't been able to have success in New York, because you don't know what Daniel Jones you're going to get from time to time. You know, he was a very high draft pick, so he has the skill and the ability to throw the football, to be athletic, to be driving the ball downfield and make the right reads. But a lot of times what you get with Daniel Jones is you get the inconsistencies, you get the fumbling, you get the interceptions, and then he puts his team behind in a deficit. And then when you do that, you don't have the firepower on your squad, and you darn sure, I shouldn't say this, let me not take shots. You don't have the firepower on your squad to make up for the lack thereof when you're turning the football over. They have some big playability on their team in Galladay. They're starting to now to get this kid, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
He's got some juice to him.
This is a kid, they want to get him going. They want to get him the ball in space. Screens, slants, bubbles, short routes where he can just get the ball, and then now he can be an effective part of this offense. He complained earlier in the year that he wasn't being a part of the offense, and now Jason Garrett got him into the offense.
Oh, that's a fine.
That was me. Normally, you're supposed to cough. That's what we do in the meeting room. Like when someone's phone goes off in the meeting room, everybody's cough, so you really can't tell what it's
supposed
from.
to take up for you.
Yeah,
we ain't doing that on this
But clearly, it's not what you do here.
We're calling you out.
So for me,
4 guys in the room.
Yeah, with Daniel Jones is he can catch these rhythms and go in and out of these rhythms.
Okay.
That's the thing that he can do. He can be really good for a series and then come back and fumble and throw an interception for a series. That is ultimately the lifespan in the NFL that Daniel Jones has been. He's been an up and down, inconsistent quarterback, and that's why they really haven't had success at the quarterback position for the New York Giants.
Is there any concern that the Cowboys, they've given up a lot of passing yards? Now, a lot of it's kind of garbage time but when they're holding the lead and all that. But they've always kind of managed to bail themselves out with a turnover or a timely sack. Are they sort of living on the edge a little bit with all this?
I don't know who said this, and it might have been Brad Cham, and I want to make sure I give guys credit because I don't need the old crusties coming back saying Holly stole my idea or whatever. But we're living in this world where we think 2 turnovers a game is going to happen every game. That's not realistic. Not saying that you won't create a turnover here and there, but consistently to get 2 takeaways a game, that'll come to an end eventually. So eventually you're going to have to find games where you just play solid defense and be able to get stops, be able to get them to punt the ball, and you have to just play. But if there is a quarterback that is going to give you an opportunity throughout the entirety of a football game to get your hands on the football, it's going to be one Daniel Jones. He is going to give you a shot.
See, and that's what I understand. His rookie year, some analyst gave him Danny Dimes. They're like that's you should say that name for somebody that can really put them things on in the right place. He called Danny Dimes because why do they call him that, man?
Well, he does have the ability. We just saw a play. He just dropped the dime on that particular play
for Tony,
right there for a touchdown. But the thing,
John Ross,
the thing about Danny Dimes is, Danny gonna give you some nickels.
Yeah.
Danny's gonna give you some pennies.
Right.
Danny gonna give you some quarters.
Yeah.
Danny gonna give you a chance to earn some dollars.
Yeah.
You got to just be there to earn the money, because he is so loose with the football, and even coming from playing for Jason Garrett. You always heard his famous line is, the ball. And Daniel Jones does a terrible job at protecting the football.
Up until this season. He's been great this season. So far, he's been great.
Yeah.
At protecting the football. Am I correct?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Like, Pro Football Focus has him ranked as the 5th best quarterback in the league.
What?
Football Outsiders has him like the 8th best. I was shocked to see. I don't know how they grade or whatever, but it doesn't make sense really. But he's doing better.
I have nothing against these great rating, scouting services, but is they just running the film through a computer and typing in certain things? Or are they looking?
No, they're not looking. It's impossible.
I think I think Pro Football they do some looking. I think a lot of the Football Outsiders are more stats.
It's a lot of analytics. They get their stuff. There's no way you can
they
watch,
run it through a computer, man.
You can watch certain football games and say that this guy is a top 5 quarterback in any league, let alone a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Injury update. Neil and Nye are both back from COVID. Cooper, Zeke sat out practice, and Gregory was limited yesterday.
Limited, yeah. Hopefully it's just resting.
Some vet days.
Yeah.
Get some vet days for the old dogs.
Kurt wants to know who has more of an advantage. Jason Garrett knowing some of the defensive players, or some of the defensive players knowing
the ones he know ain't playing.
There ain't many left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, name the guys that he know that's playing, that he really could get to. Our slot corner, Jay Lewis.
Anthony Brown.
Okay, who else?
Leighton, but that's not out.
Leighton is a new man.
Think so?
Oh, yeah, Leighton is dropping hammer and less howling and hollering and more knocking out. Yeah, yeah. Leighton is a new man.
I don't know. Well, going back to worrying about the pass defense, the run defense is like one of the yards per game. They're one of the worst, or yards per carry. They're one of the worst in the league. But yet again, they kind of bail themselves out. It's just, again, are they living on the
disaster
edge of this?
waiting to happen?
Yeah,
somebody really gets
Barkley
after him.
gets going.
He doesn't want to get excited.
This is what Kurt.
He doesn't want to get too excited because he
Beard.
doesn't want his heart to get
positive yesterday.
This is stop guarding your hearts, brothers. Let's let go.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Stop guarding your hearts.
You need to leave Kurt alone, because yesterday Kurt was 100,000% right, and you laughed in his face.
You talking about with the pick?
He got snatched up before the end of the day.
Let me tell y'all something.
You were laughing at his face.
Let me tell y'all something.
You and Jesse Bo laughed
I
at
didn't
the
think
man.
Kurt was serious, but I am not. I am not. What I saw from Jalen, I'm like, it would take time, at least a couple of days before a guy would know how they fit in. But Green Bay know what they see and what they want from Jalen. I am happy. Kurt, and I make sure I put on there, Kurt, you are a new GM. Did I not put that on there? You are a new GM. Yeah. So if you say a guy gonna get picked up, the first time they don't.
Squirrel gets enough.
I thought it would take a couple of days too, but Nate literally laughed in your face.
Yeah, I started laughing like, are you
3 times?
See,
that's a joke, right? That's a joke. Way to go, Kurt. Way to go, man.
Kurt,
get lucky once in a while.
So you leave Kurt alone. I tell you what, just because
you
of that,
leave Kurt alone, man. I've been defending Kurt for the last month.
We're gonna go to break, and when we come back, this is Kurt's show, Kurt's Corner. When we come back on Hangin' with the Boys.
Real reward. Thanks.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, It will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, yo quiero guacamole.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. When there's work to be done, a real workhorse can make all the difference. Like the Range Boss package. Our 5075E John Deere 75 horsepower tractor features a bell spear and loader and starts at $369 per month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay. No surprises. It works like a horse, so you don't have to.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now, let's get to work.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show that cares the most about their fans on the Dallas Cowboys Podcast Network. Hanging with the Boys, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holly, Nate Newton, and energize your next event with an appearance by the world-famous Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Ignite your audience and create personalized moments for all. To book America's Sweethearts for your next event, visit DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/appearances. You ought to have that out there for your son's next birthday, Kurt, at the house.
Cheerleaders?
Yep. Just bring them on out.
Yeah.
Bring them on out to the house.
Mom would love that.
All right. Well,
Be the whole
Son,
budget
could
for the
you
day.
open your door? Ever since the Chili's left, your door's been locked.
Anybody seen the lotion?
So I don't know how we've done it, but we've managed to keep Jesse's talk time on the show today to a very minimal. I don't know what's going on. Are you okay?
Yeah, Twitter.
Do you need a?
Nah,
I got a question for him.
Kurt has some great response. Nate has some great responses.
I'm just making sure you're all right. I'm just keeping you engaged.
I got a question for you.
It's your corner, by the way. Kurt's corner. It's all yours.
Yeah.
Take your question and go.
Is this Giants receiving core underrated?
Ooh.
Especially if they're healthy.
If healthy, you're talking about the speedster and John Ross, talking about the route runner Sterling Shepard, talking about the all-around big play kind of guy in Kenny Galladay, and then you add the Swiss Army knife in Kadarius Toney. The problem is who's the Geppetto?
Who's dealing?
Who's dealing? That's the problem. Is that the person that's dealing all of these athletes? I don't think he has the wherewithal to get creative enough in a system where you can distribute the ball.
Talking about Daniel Jones?
No, he's still taking shots at the old ball coach.
At the OC. Because you got John Ross, you got Kadarius Toney, you got Kenny Galladay, and you got Sterling Shepard. On paper, you got
the other guy. They got another guy too, don't they?
Who else?
Darius Slayton. See anybody?
The Evans guy.
Slayton.
Evans
Yeah.
when he's healthy.
I mean, so
tight end Evans when he's healthy.
He's
healthy.
You even got old man Kyle Rudolph.
Evan Ingram. So you know.
Yeah, so I mean, you have weapons there, and then you add Saquon Barkley into that mix. Yeah, this should be an offense that's a potent offense. Mm-hmm. This should be an offense very similar to how our offenses run. Mm-hmm. And when you look at how things are built in the division, most of the time when you look at teams within their division, they built the same because at the end of the day, in order to get to the Super Bowl, your first thing is to win your division. Mm-hmm. So you're always trying to build your team to defeat the strengths of the other opponents in your division. So when you start looking around, you start saying, oh, these teams are built alike because your goal is to be division winners as often as you possibly can because that almost guarantees you
a playoff
spot. So Yeah, I mean they have a boatload of weapons on this offense. Again, the puppet master who pulls the strings in this offense is one that.
Who scares you the most out of that group?
Man, Galladay is his big playability is one that definitely will give you concern.
Yeah.
But they all can be deadly.
Yeah.
They all can be deadly.
I was surprised that Jones leads the NFL in passes between 10 and 19 yards. So I guess the intermediate range. I think he's got 33 this year. Is that like the play action, dumping it over the linebackers? I mean, how do you defend against that? What are we looking at there?
I'm going to tell you something. Tom Brady has went to 8 Super Bowls doing exactly what you just talked about. But you got to have a dependable quarterback to make sure it's like that. And if what my man Jesse's saying is true, that's the on and off thing. When he's Danny Dime, he's doing that. When he's not, he's not. So he's not done enough of it. But that is when you can get 10 to 19 yards, you always got a first down, but you're always a play away from breaking it. And if he can do that, we got our hands full, man.
But go back to your offense in the 90s, and you look at the plays that you guys ran. Jason still comes from that same mold. That offense is still that number system.
Yeah.
Right? So you're talking about slants, digs, which are anywhere from 12 to 14 to 16 yards, curls, 12-yard curls. We call them Harvey routes, 15-yard Harvey routes. So all the routes that he runs in that offense is in the 10 to 19-yard range. If you got a deep dig, 18 to 22. If you got a shorter dig, 16. So everything that he runs in that offense is an offense that's in that intermediate range, right? And then they'll take a shot, every now and again. But they want to get the ball to their playmakers in that 10 to 15-yard range because those chunk plays move you methodically down the field. But again, it's can you call it consistently, and then can your quarterback deliver it?
And that's their issue.
That's their issue.
That and a line, I guess.
An offensive line.
I'm telling you, this dude ain't turned the ball over.
You just want to give them the game. You want to give them the game, Nate?
No, what I'm saying is if we play like we did in the first half with that intensity, like Jesse said, we had to match last week intensity. We did that in the first half easily. And if we come out, because these dudes they're gonna punch us, man. And it may not mean nothing to Jason. It may, but it does. It. So he gonna unleash Barkley. If he don't unleash Barkley, we gonna.
You know what I think you're doing today? I feel like you were struggling all week to find something to make this a conversation this week because you think the Giants are so bad. But now all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, Daniel Jones is holding on.
We talked to Broadus last night, remember?
Saquon's really good.
We talked to Broadus last night.
Are you doing this just to have something to talk about today?
Yeah, I am, because if we don't beat the britches off these guys, man.
I'm telling you, man, we really.
Man, I'm trying to look at it as a player. And if I look at it as a player, then I'm like, we got these guys.
Do players struggle with that, finding that motivation when you're playing a team that
that's why you got to have a Michael Jordan mindset. That's why you got to have a Michael Jordan mindset.
You got to find something.
I hate
motivation.
you. Look at your socks. Your socks ain't right. I'm killing you because of your socks.
I remember that story. You might have told us that story about Michael Irvin. I think it was against the Cardinals, and you guys knew you were going to destroy him. So he admitted he was out before the game. He just kind of whatever. And some young defensive back on the Cardinals came up and said,
it was the Giant.
Giants.
Yeah.
I'm whatever this and that. And Michael was like, thank you.
I'm going to find out. Yeah.
Have you ever thought that, Jesse, on any of your teams, college or pro? Like, there's no way this team's winning the game, and then either they beat you or they, took it down to the wire?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's happened several times in college. Mm-hmm. We actually lost games because of that. We lost in the ACC tournament because of that. Georgia Tech smacked us.
How does that happen? Do you get overconfident?
Super. You think you can turn it off and on? Like, come on. Like, really? Yeah. All right.
And then by the time you turn it on,
they've hit every shot. They've hit every shot.
And you can't get back
And you can't get back. You can't find a rhythm, and they're in a rhythm, and they can do this, and the ball's going in. And now you're looking up and you're saying, did we just lose to St. Mary's?
And see, if I'm coach,
lose to St. Mary's.
If I'm coach, I'm showing the last half of the second quarter of the Saints game and all the second half. If I'm coach, I'm like, look at this right here, where they was beating them by 11, but all of a sudden they back in the game trying to wake these cats up.
I remember we did that in a game. Yeah. Man, who was it? I think it was Detroit. We're spanking Detroit. And at halftime, we're at home. That was the game Detroit came back and won.
Yeah.
We're smacking Detroit. And we're literally on the sideline. We're heading into a bye. So we're talking about
where you going.
We're talking about who's chartering the plane, what hotels we going to in Vegas, what's about to go down. Like,
dang.
And then we end up losing to Detroit. I think it was Detroit at home.
Detroit at home.
2010 maybe?
But we were you beat them.
We beat them at home. It was one of those games. I forgot what it was, but we were spanking them. And then we looked up in the second half, and it was like we found ourselves.
Yeah, 2011.
2011.
Yeah,
that's
lost 34-30.
Yep, that's the game.
Was that the Saints game before or after that?
We went to a bye after that.
After that was a bye.
It was a bye. Yep.
Yeah.
That was that game. We were whooping them.
Yeah.
We were talking about Vegas. Hey, what plane we getting on? Who Miles chartered the plane. What does y'all give you the money for it?
You're up 20-3 at the half.
Yeah.
Got outscored 31-10 in the second half.
That's the game. We were talking about Vegas and chartering planes, and we go stay at the Cosmopolitan or the Venetian or wherever, and we lost. Oops. And then we didn't get that. We didn't get those extra days we thought we were going to get.
What about you, Nate?
No, not when Coach Johnson got there. Because he would tell us, he was a master. We have a bye in the middle of the week that we playing the game. Then the next week is the bye. On Thursday, he would hand us out the schedule of the next week on how we're going to practice.
So you're even making plans. You
can make all the plans. Then if we won the game, hey, I'll see you this day. But if we didn't win the game, we already had that.
Some people have been saying the Cowboys aren't finishing like this year. They're not putting the boot on the neck. You buying into that, or is it just?
That's a little bit that I'm and I'm thinking they got to learn that. Not the older player, but the young players got to learn to finish. They got to learn. They got to learn to close it, because I know Dak is ready to finish. I know Zeke is ready to finish. They've been there before. So they got to get this instilled in the young guys. But we got to finish this. We really. But, and I hate to say this, Jesse. I hate to say this. But ain't nobody going to ever quit on the Cowboys.
No.
Ain't no other team going to ever lay down for us. I don't care. We was watching the game. All of us guys stand back in church. They like, Cowboys. Now all of a sudden, they fighting back. Here come this team fighting back, Yeah. So ain't nobody gonna lay down on the Cowboys, man.
And that was part of Zeke's concern. Zeke said we have to learn how to close games out, and that's a learning thing. That's a learning thing that you have to. Yeah. You have to. Well, hell, you got to be in game. You got to actually be in games. And winning games.
Winning the game.
Be winning the game to learn how to close the game out. I mean, last year you spent so much time fighting back to stay in the game, and then the year before that we spent so much time fighting back, to get in the games. Now we're kind of like, you know what? Hey, it's pretty cool to be up there.
Check us out. We're 4 games in, and I don't want to curse us. Who is our backup? Quarterback.
Oh,
Lord. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. 888-855-2297.
Just asked
Give us a call. We'll take your tweets, your phone calls. It'll be a fan fun Friday.
Like this, man? Why's it gotta be like
Kurt,
this, man?
hang in there. Nate, thanks for bringing it. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air.
Tomorrow, Mama Gross.
Mama Gross will be here tomorrow. Aaron, thanks for
in?
backing up. Chris, she can't have visitors in the building yet.
Right. Well, your mom ain't a visitor. She a part of our team.
I know, but still, it's protocol.
We're going to get Miss Pat.
William, thanks for keeping us up on the live
time
streams.
since we've been
We'll be back tomorrow. Hanging with the boys.
It's been a long time.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?